In Hell was released in 2003, directed by Ringo Lam and starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Lawrence Taylor. Van Damme plays Kyle LeBlanc, an American working in Russia who's sentenced to a brutal prison after avenging his wife's murder. What follows is a descent into violence, survival, and ultimately redemption. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema, and this is my review for In Hell, a Jean-Claude Van Damme prison movie. Now, this is for Action for Autism, everyone, so if you could please donate if you can, if you're able to. The link is in the description, as always, for all these reviews, all these rankings I'm giving you to September 19th it runs to. So whenever this movie gets thrown around and mentioned, well, it doesn't, to be honest. I feel like I'm one of the few people who know it. I'm usually one I recommend when I tell people about Van Damme movies. Van Damme really subverts our expectations in this because it's not a film with flashy kicks, over the top, cheesy one-liners and all that. This is a brutal, vicious, bleak world, a prison drama. You know, it has the vicious fights in it, but it actually has this really layered storytelling to it. This is about a man who loses his identity. It's about the cost of hatred and revenge, ultimately. And how he gets dehumanized in this vicious, bleak world, with this prison setting. Right away, this movie opens up with a real emotional impact when Van Damme's trying to reconnect with his wife. He's on his way home. He's been working long hours, and she gets attacked. She gets killed. He goes after the guy, kills him. You know, they both kind of get apprehended and stuff, and then we flash back to where the guy gets off scot-free. Van Damme shoots this guy outside the courtroom and everything like that. And then he gets put into this Russian prison. In this prison, they hold these fights and where there's like a champion, and Van Damme at first does not want to be part of this. He just wants to do his time and everything, but he's kind of a shit disturber in the sense that he sees other weaker inmates getting picked on, getting beat up, and he steps in, and even though he gets his ass kicked, you know what I mean? He still steps in, and they see that he's like a natural fighter. He's got that grit to him. I really love Van Damme's performance in this because he's more often than not, he's not even speaking. He's doing a lot with his own body language and stuff. It's a really restrained performance here. This is a man not cracking one-liners. He's not doing the splits. This is a man who's getting beaten down by a system. And then eventually when he does get into a fight, and the fights are brutal. This is a fight of survival. And that's what I really love about it. This is not Van Damme doing flying kicks. He's getting his ass kicked. It's in the mud. It's gritty. It's rough. And like when he beats the champion, when he wins this fight, like he's about to get killed. He bites the guy's throat out and then spits it out. And then he's just sitting there like screaming and screaming. And then this is where he goes into his descent down into a person his wife would have never been proud of, a person that he really doesn't want to be. He's kind of marching to what the prison wants him to be. And then near the end of this movie, there's a huge revolt where he won't fight no more. The prisoners all get together, and they're not playing into the warden's games no more. I kind of like the redemption story of this character. When he starts becoming the warden's puppet, essentially, when he fights and fights and fights, he's kind of playing into their rules. He loses himself. The more he fights, the more that old self disappears. There's these great solitary confinement moments where he's by himself. And, you know, I think the performance, again, is still great. And there's a butterfly symbolizing his dead wife and everything. And deep down, he knows that he's turning into someone he doesn't even recognize no more. And at the end, you know, there's this little redemption arc. Ringo Lam brings this raw documentary kind of feel to the violence. It's dimly lit. I guess he's known for gritty Hong Kong cinema, and he doesn't really hold back here. You feel the mud, the dirt, the hopelessness, all that stuff that reflects the character. I love the production design. This prison really feels lived in, and it feels dehumanized. That goes along with a lot of the themes, right? The music, too, is really restrained. You get this kind of haunting piano in the emotional moments that really serves the story well. Even though this film follows some cliches and some tropes, a lot of characters only hit on one note. Van Damme befriends this kid, and he's kind of weaker, and the warden throws him into prisons with the champions, the big guys, where he's constantly being raped, even though he's fighting back. And that's kind of like sparks Van Damme the fight. He's like fighting for the weaker people in this prison. That's kind of like a cliche in prison movies. One guy getting raped, but they execute it well. It's quite actually brutal, and you really feel sorry for this kid where this is happening to him because he just can't fight back. But some of you may find some parts slow in this movie. If you like the typical Van Damme style movie, this movie may not work for you. The really only negatives I have is that a lot of the characters come off as cliches and maybe one note. It may feel like a straight to DVD movie, and maybe some people are just won't watch that stuff, but I really recommend you guys give this one a shot. So in your next Saturday night movie night, you decide to watch a prison movie, give In Hell a chance. It's brutal, grounded, realistic. Van Damme subverts our expectations, and you get a really good character study and a good redemption story. I'm going to give In Hell a solid B. But what about you guys? What did you think of In Hell? Do you like this movie? Don't you like it? If you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back for the review. Let's have a great discussion in those comments. And if you can donate to Action for Autism, this fundraiser I'm running, please do. It's running to September 19th. The link is in the description. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. I had a great time talking about this movie with you guys. My name is Jason. You've been watching Backtrack Cinema. I'll see you next time, and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.